Samsung 2022 Q600B Soundbar. Check out the description below for timestamps and so on. I'll put in key moments like dimensions. Subwoofer, instruction book and remote pack. Bar itself, nice. Onto the remote control and accessories pack. Two figure 8 mains leads in there, one for the bar into the power pack, one for the subwoofer. That's the power pack there, 24 volt DC power pack, so figure 8 mains lead into the power pack. Some instructions there on the remote and wall mounting it. Have a look in the link wherever it ends up, there or there. How to wall mount a soundbar, goes through it step by step. So that is the wall mount kit for that, so I won't go into too much detail. Look at the video, it's the same for pretty much all the Samsung soundbars and pretty much LG soundbars as well. You've got a template in there, two circular discs, so mark up the wall using the template to get your required height or distance from your TV. Screw those discs to the wall, and then you've got these small L brackets included, which will hook onto the discs on the wall. Gives you a shelf for the soundbar. Soundbar plonks down on top and it's secured by a screw underneath. Look at the video if you need a hand with that one. Looking at a close-up of the remote for the soundbar. Power on and off, a source or input button. Bluetooth pairing button, pair your phones and whatever to the bar. Stream your music. If you're streaming music, you can play and pause there. Skip forwards and backwards or fast forward and rewind. Mute, sound mode will cycle through the different sound modes. An info button, volume will rock up and down, and you can also alter that woofer up and down. Channel levels to alter the individual channel levels. We've got a settings cog to go into the settings there. Also tone control to alter the treble and bass. Flip it over, bit of pressure onto the back there and it slides away. AAA batteries into the back. Just for the fun of it, because I've got one in stock still. That's last year's Q600A for comparison with the new Q600B. You can see these predominant upward firing speakers there. Also, it is slightly wider, not by much, but say that's 103 centimeters or 40.5 inches. That is 98 centimeters, so 5 centimeters smaller, 38.5 inches. Haven't heard the difference yet. That's them from the top. Make of it what you will. I just thought while I've got them both, we can compare them both and have a quick look. Input wise, they're both the same anyway. Pretty cool. Oop you go. Again, anyway, looking at the bar, see we've got our touch controls there, power on and off, volume and input. Bit of POS there about Dolby Atmos DTX, part of the Q Symphony range. 3 front speakers, 0.2 those upward firing for your Atmos, 0.1 being the subwoofer. Don't know how well any of that will show, if we can see those speakers at the front there. And then looking at it underneath as well, digital optical audio in, HDMI ARC, so HDMI ARC TV end and this end, that will do the control and the audio feedback. HDMI loop through if we're looping a Blu-ray or PlayStation or whatever to the TV. Looking at the other side, USB socket there, so I suppose we could do media playback, whatever, and that is where the DC power pack connects there. Onto the subwoofer. Okay, straight down look at the sub, front grille there, Not much to see. I mean, I'm guessing, I reckon about a 5-inch sub in there. Seems pretty similar to the B550 subwoofer. Rubber feet underneath so it doesn't slip about or mark any tables it's on. Looking at the back, bass port there, mains input, an ID set, so should blink blue while it's looking for the bar, turn solid blue when it's paired to the bar. When you turn the bar off, that should go to red standby automatically. So this is wireless to the bar, just requires mains. Cool. Get the dimensions while we've got it standing up. So the depth of that sub from the front of it to the back, 29.5 centimeters, just over 11.5 inches. Width of it, 18.5 centimeters, about 7.25 inches. And the height of it, 34 centimeters or 13.5 inches. Looking at the bar itself, widest part, as I mentioned earlier, 103 centimeters or 40.5 inches. Depth of it, just under 10.5 centimeters or maybe 10.5 centimeters, just over 4 inches. Maybe 4 1/8 of an inch is it, if I'm going imperial. Just over 5.5 centimeters high, 2 1/4 inches. And again, just a quick look. That is the Q60A for comparison. Connecting the soundbar up, I've got the other end of this HDMI cable connected to HDMI ARC on the TV. So HDMI ARC socket as well on the soundbar, so that will give control and the audio feed to the soundbar. Now we've got the DC 24 volt in. That's my DC power pack end. Just pop that into there. Well, the figure 8 mains lead for the subwoofer. Soundbar's on, so when I plug this in, should start blinking blue as it looks for the soundbar, and then it should turn solid blue as it automatically pairs. There we go. Now turning the TV on, the soundbar should display, instead of digital in, TV ARC, the TV should also say Dolby Atmos device connected.
Crude oil. Russia also is a big exporter, in particular of diesel, and a lot of that diesel used to go to the US, and the US is one of the few countries which have already, so they don't get that diesel anymore.
Just turn up the sound, we can hear normal news.
He's having to chewing gum and trying to juggle at the same time, and there are implications on all of this. You know, for instance, by going to Saudi Arabia and meeting with MBS, what we also know is that he's sending a message to Vladimir Putin that maybe you can get away with things that are...
So I think it clearly with the windfall tax, I think the government was aware, having gone on for some time about how it was an awful unconservative idea, eventually they concluded that the optics were so bad of these companies looking as though they're cashing in while consumers are really struggling. So I think there are obviously other things they can look at, political problems.
It's going to go on to a music demo.
Fracking would have parliamentary support, even though.
So I'll just say credit to bensound.com because this is going to be their content. I just want to try out some music.
They don't need to.
standard. Back to surround. So I'm going to leave it on adaptive. Try a quick movie trailer, so I'll say credit to Paramount Pictures for their Maverick and Top Gun trailer.
Wherever you look, there are records being...
It's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Live TV again.
Issues. And then the Rwanda flights again, and other parties are trying to block them from
Okay, so we're going to turn that down. Very impressive mid-size soundbar, probably 4350 inch and above. 3.1.2 channel, as it says, with a wireless subwoofer. I'm not sure of the price yet, I'll put it in the description below, but all in all, pretty cool.